Hi, this is Brandon Smiley from thirstgym.com. Today we're going to talk about an exercise called the in-place lateral lunge. This is a great frontal plane exercise you can put in your training programs for your clients and your athletes, getting them moved to side, work on that triplanar motion a little bit, and overall just build a better athlete. This is one of the simpler ways we try to get our athletes moving in the frontal plane. I really don't think that there's a bad exercise to do that, but I think many athletes, and especially personal training clients that haven't moved in a long time, moving in that frontal plane can be very difficult and very challenging. And while it shouldn't be, I do feel this is a great way to help prevent injury issues, low back pain. It's definitely one of the biggest issues we have in terms of movement with the people that we see. They just can't move side to side very well. So this is a very easy way to get them lunging side to side without a whole lot of complexity. So I'm going to grab a dumbbell here for a little bit of load so you can see where the load will go. So we hold the load up here in the goblet position for this exercise. We're going to get our feet in a good wide base support, okay? So we need to get wider than our hips. Good wide base support. Toes are going to be turned down about a 30 to 40 degree angle, give or take. We want to be able to feel the sides of our shoes, okay? Now, if you get too wide, people that have really tight adductors are going to have some problems with this. And if you come too narrow, you're not going to be able to sit your hips back and stay in a good tall position. So we're going to get the dumbbell here in front of us. I'm going to go to my right first. I'm going to break at the knee. I'm going to let my hips go back. And we're going to begin to push our hips back towards the wall behind me here. Keep my chest tall. And then come back. We're going to go the other way. Just like that. Okay? So, some main coaching cues you want to focus on. Chest has got to stay tall. Way too many athletes, when they go to lunge laterally, regardless of which way they go, to be able to feel, they're basically trying to feel that they're going low enough. So when they get to a point where their glutes and their hamstrings, their lower body strength just quite isn't there to let them continue to hinge back and push that hip back, they're going to be able to try to figure out a way to artificially create that displacement where they're moving. So they're going to come here, and then they kind of start doing this because they begin to feel a little bit. We want that chest to stay tall. We want the hip to continue to just go back in an angle behind us. The other main coaching cue is the long leg. It's entirely okay if that leg's not planted. In a perfect world, that'd be great if they did. That would show they've got really good adductor mobility. You know, they can get side to side and be shifty. But the truth of the matter is that's not going to happen a whole lot, especially in your male population that's a little bit tight. So I let my athletes know it's okay to not only be on the sides of their shoe, but they can let their foot kind of rock up to their heel a little bit so they can have that mobility and let that hip externally rotate, open up, and that kind of gives them a little bit ability to get laterally a little bit better. It's also okay if they're loading their knee up a little bit. Their hip's going to come back and the knee's going to take some of the ground. That's going to happen in a lunge. So don't think that there's just going to be like one of these things, okay? That doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, it's great to learn how to sit into your hip, but we want to be able to get an athlete, particularly athletes, how if they get a hit, boom, they can go. We want them good and strong in that position. So we want to train a good quality range of motion and get them down there on each side. I prefer to have my athletes perform one side then the other, really kind of groove it, get the feel for it, move to the other side. We usually do 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 10 reps per side. This is definitely one of those things where you kind of start at a little bit on the low side in terms of weight, crank them up, get some load in front of them, get them moving once they're good. As I said, this isn't our first progression we go to. After we've done some sled drags and some lateral lunging to a box, this is usually the next step that we prefer to go to get them moving in the frontal plane. So if you got any questions, feel free in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.